organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of XXIII College. Welcome you all for the second day. Let us begin the day with a moment of silent prayer. Thank you. Over the last few years, technology has revolutionized higher education, not only through e-learning and distance education, but also with exponential increase in technological tools that can dramatically increase student learning, enhance student engagement, together unleashing the creativity of the educators. Institutions have purchased extensive amounts of hardware and software, set up network connectivity, train teachers to use technology, and so on. The whole world of academia, students, teachers, and administrators are enthusiastic about technology today, and we find them revamping their technical skills. As a network generation of people who cannot imagine a life without technological devices is increasing, it is essential to pass to the system of higher education with elements of smart technologies. The topic for the panel discussion, Perspectives of Technology Usage for Higher Education, is apt for the current state. With this note, I welcome each of you to the panel discussion, and now I invite our proactive and optimistic Professor Dr. Juby Thomas, the coordinator of Department of Media Studies, PG XXIII College, to introduce the chairperson and present the welcome note. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good morning to the respected dignitaries joined us today on this virtual platform. A welcome address is always a universal welcome, which brings cheers to our heart and a smile on our faces. On behalf of the management, the organizing committee, and the entire Jayantian fraternity, I extend a warm welcome to the chairperson of the session, Dr. C. Veer Babu, Principal of V.O. Chidambaram College, Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu. He is a true teacher with so much energy, patience, and enthusiasm. Someone who taught us the zoology of leadership, and a passionate researcher with several accolades to his cap. Sir, it is an honor to have you in our midst today. Hearty welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Hearty welcome to the panelist of the day, Dr. Smita Deshmukh, Member, Executive Committee, NAC, Bengaluru, Dr. Nina Seth, Principal, Govindgra Public College, Ludhiana, Dr. Karunakaran, CEO, Hindustan Education Institutions, Coimbatore. Dear professors, your presence here today is a true inspiration to several budding academicians and scholars like me, and it depicts your commitment to the education sector. We truly value your contributions, presence here today, and also welcoming you to this session. Hearty welcome, dear professors. I also extend a warm welcome to all the members of AICP, a bouquet of welcome to all the faculty members from various institutions who have joined us here today. Once again, a warm welcome to all those who have gathered here today. Let us begin with the panel discussion on perspectives of technology usage for higher education. Now, I humbly request to Dr. C. Veer Babu, Principal, V.O. Chidambaram College, Thoothukudi, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. I am Dr. C. Veer Babu, Principal, V.O. Chidambaram College, Thoothukudi. First of all, I should thank to Dr. Baba Gnanakumar, who has given this opportunity for meeting all of you through the Zoom. Now the topic, today's topic is emerging technology trends in higher education. Distinguished dignitaries, being the chairperson of today's session, I would like to bring warm greetings to you all. Being an educationist, before entering into the topic, what are all the things that we have to see for taking over the emerging technology trends in higher education is concerned. I would like to start with what David Wacklick has beautifully said regarding that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it's the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world. Dear friends, I would like to throw some insights about the latest technologies which is now predominant everywhere. For example, evolution of artificial intelligence in higher education, shortly we can call it as AI, is appearing seemingly everywhere in higher education, such as management systems, proctoring, grading, and even student information systems, library services, and disability support also. Next comes data analytics. Nowadays, everybody is talking about the data analytics. As far as any graduates or any B graduates are trying to their level best to get a job in the data analytics, I heard that for over the 10 years, this data analytics system, data analytics is concerned, it will helpful to get an job opportunities for the job seekers. As far as this concern, it helps educators know how to interpret data to improving learning outcomes. Not only for that, effective utilization of data analytics will help all the stakeholders of higher education. Next, in every colleges and universities should spend towards a permanent place for blended and hybrid course models related. With hybrid learning on the rise, higher and sees is a Zoom room boom. Nowadays, the expansion of open educational resources will facilitate the students to access data freely. These open educational resources, that is OER, can also make it easier way for the students to learn complex information. Even micro credentials provide business opportunities for higher education. These are all the programs that focus on a specific skill set. They are significantly shorter and more flexible than traditional degree programs. These programs can range from maybe short courses, boot camps, professional certificate and licenses, certificates issued by universities and other university accredited programs. To keep pace with competition, we have to invest more quality outline learning across the higher education landscape. Many institutions have moved beyond emergency remote learning. Many are continuing to invest in quality online learning programs. Nowadays, in the NEP also, we the educationists, if you look into detail, as far as the government is concerned, they are concentrating towards the higher learning is concerned. The future students are at 40% of MOOC and SWAYAM courses is concerned. So nowadays, virtual reality also comes on the pipeline. So let me conclude as far as the saying of this system, the future of the educational system is practically determined by the development of technology, because technology makes teaching easy. Technology helps you track students' progress. Educational technology is good to the environment. Thanks to technology, students enjoy learning. Technology making distance learning more accessible than ever. So students and teachers can access information at any time. Technology makes the collaboration more effective, as and when if you want to take any data, we can also retrieve the data in an easier manner as far as the technology systems is concerned. Dear all learned colleagues, there is no other go. We have to embrace the technology in this modern world to keep going. I strongly believe that the saying and Alvin Toffler, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now the forum is open for discussion. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for that great introduction that you provided, indicating that the technology alone cannot do wonders, but it is the great teachers in whose hands the technology plays a very important role in creating the transformation. Thank you so much, sir. Now I welcome the members of the panel to present their views.
Yeah, Vanakkam everyone.
Vanakkam, sir.
Thanks to the chairman as well as the organizing committee of ICP. Yeah, my friend Dr. Veerababu, the chairman of this panel, opened up with his opening remarks. As the administrator of 11 institutions in Coimbatore, how I look technology into higher education system. Maybe till the pre-COVID season, I would like to say it is season. Bringing technology into classroom was a very tough opportunity. I think the COVID has given a tremendous amount of opportunity for all the academicians to understand the technology and to use the technology effectively, and to see that the students are learning better than the earlier days. The use of technology for the learning and teaching brings really the optimism and the opportunity for education. It liberates both the teacher and the student in the scholarly enterprise by removing traditional boundaries and also the restrictions to knowledge via some of the open and global access that we can find it as offers now. However, it also challenges us to really consider the best possible use of the technology for our students, and more fundamentally our actions as the educators in the process of exploiting the technology for pedagogical advantages. When I talk about the technology in our higher education, there are two important people involved into this. One is the teaching community, the other one is the learning community. Of course, the learning community picks the technology usage far better than the teaching community. So the challenge what we find is educating the teachers to use the recent technologies into our classroom environment. When I'm talking about the technology, whether it may be a programming platform, maybe a TOE or HackerRank or coding, whatever it may be, for the computing area field. The virtual experimentation, somehow we try to make content in the e-form. Mostly the theoretical content we try to formulate in the form of e-content, and we deliver it to see that our end users are using that. But whereas when we want to see that our students are getting into a practical situation, still we don't have easy tools to make some virtual experimentation and simulations from the teacher side. So this one bottleneck I really experienced in the recent past. Of course, the AR, VR are these components are getting into our teaching methodologies. More ICT tools. Now, free tools are available. More than about 30 different free tools are available, whether it is for quizzing or testing or gaming. Beautifully, our teachers are now using it both in online environment as well as in offline environment. So with this opening remark, I would like to leave to the other panelists so that I can hear from them, so that I try to learn something from our co-panelists. Thank you so much.
Good morning, all. This is Dr. Nina Karanji. I'm a principal at Govinda Public College and associated with the Association of Indian College Principals for last 12 years. And nice to hear Dr. Nina Karanji, and with the permission of Chair Dr. C. Veerabahu, Principal, and Babaji Nanak Kumarji, I would like to add, as per my experience and observation, because I am not at all a technology expert, but as per little experience only, like whenever we are talking about the technology, we have to take into account the national education policy that weaves the digital thread across the very fabric of education system, giving digital the attention it warrants. And technology adoption resonates across all the facets of education in the new policy, be it for online, e-program, delivery, training, e-assessment, and each and everything. It recognizes the challenge arising on account of widespread use of artificial intelligence and highlights the need to adopt the change occurring on account of increased use of AI across the sector. And the sir rightly said that our learning generation is more smarter than we people are, because they are already handing this having on their palm the smartphones, and that all have this AI assistant, and they can easily check the information whatever is there before their teacher reaches the class. So and the new education policy has flagged the theme of leadership as central to bringing about the desired changes in education at large and higher education in particular. And it emphasizes that leadership development strategies have to be worked out to explore technology for deeper engagement and wider delivery. And as we all are aware that the COVID-19 pandemic has forced the higher education institution across the world with the differing degree of difficulty and success. And success of any higher education depends on its digital readiness, which is in turn an outcome of digital transformation, strategic framework. And as said by John Kennedy, that the change is the law of life, and that those who look only to the past and present are certain to miss the future. Fast forward 60 years, and if you would have imagined the rate of digital transformation that has taken place since the beginning of 2019, when the global pandemic forced us to rethink almost every aspect of our lives, including how we live, learn, work, and do the business. So digital technologies are among the few winner in COVID-19. Higher education have been forced to recognize and reconfigure their activities as a result of pandemic. And those who had already begun the process of digital transformation has found the transition easier than the others. However, education technology has its challenges also, as told by Chairman Sir, and particularly when it comes to implementation of use. For example, despite growing interest in the use of artificial intelligence and augmented reality and other emerging technology, less than 10% of higher education having these tools in their classrooms, according to a research. Additionally, concerns include excessive screen time, effectiveness of teacher using technology, and worries about technology equity. Prominently rising from the COVID-19 crisis is the issue of content. Educators need to be able to delve and weigh in on online educational content, especially to encourage the student to consider a topic from different perspectives. The urgent actions taken during the crisis did not provide sufficient time for this. Access is an added concern. For example, not every district has resources to provide students with a laptop and internet connectivity. and they cannot access all this infrastructure. Additionally, while some students thrive in online education settings, other lag for various factors, including support resources. For example, a student who already struggled in face-to-face environment may struggle even more in the current situation. Still, most students typically demonstrate confidence in using online education when they have the resources, as studies have suggested. We all know what are the benefits of technology in education, because it has increased the collaboration and communication. Not only can teacher engage with student during the lesson, but students can also communicate with each other through online lessons and learning games. Students get to work together to solve the problems. In collaborative activities, students can share their thoughts and ideas and support each other. At the same time, technology enables one-to-one interaction with the teachers, and student can ask classroom related questions and seek the additional help on difficult to understand subject matters. There's personalized learning opportunities also that are provided by the technology in hybrid classroom also, and student can learn their own pace. And one another word is like the flipped classroom that we all are aware of, like whenever you provide some of the content material to the student, so they can learn at their own pace and discuss at class whenever during the hybrid mode. So we need to adopt all these models also. And technology also drive digital teaching, also drive curiosity by engaging the student in the content. And through engaging the educational content, they can spark the inquisitiveness in the student and boost their curiosity. They may improve the teacher productivity and efficiency also, because teacher can leverage the technology to achieve new level of productivity, implement the useful digital tool to expand the learning opportunity for the student. And any higher education become leader by using the various technological methods. So at university and college level, not only the technology should be used in designing of curriculum, but it should be taken as a subject discipline also. Most of the higher education have incorporated some element of digital transformation into their current and planned process, but far more could be done. The reality today is that the digital transformation strategies in higher education institute can be scaled to include the internal operations, strategic comparatives, outreach, research and innovation, finance and employment engagement. We all are aware that technology involves too much cost, and fact that most of higher education institute struggle with financial resources. And we should therefore set some priorities and consider partnership with the technology companies. In exchange for financial support, higher education can provide access to the research teams and student volunteers who can help to refine product and services at their level. Digital transformation is a long process, and which comprises moving from physical to digital format and then using the technologies to improve the processes and finally leveraging all the opportunities digitalization offer. So recognizing that higher education institute and universities often work in silos, digital transformation strategies must be more inclusive and involve key players and stakeholders in a culture of trust, understanding, agility, and safety. So best way of higher education institute to approach digital transformation is to employ human-centric design methodology, which focus on user behavior and need. One size fits all approach promoted by some of the technology suppliers is not at all good, as not only do higher education institute differ from each other, even the different departments in the same institute or may vary. Customization can maximize the use of the technology, and leaders should learn, imbibe and use technology first by themselves, as we all principal have to learn that before we can motivate our staff to do so. And here I would also like to add like we should accept the technology, and we cannot do anything without the technology now after the pandemic, because already we are running in hybrid mode, but sooner or later we have to go by that. And some of the new technologies used are, like recently I was reading the Times of India, and they are during the 54th convocation ceremony of IIT Kanpur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was there, and he launched the blockchain-based degree transfer technology, with which digital degrees are provided to the student. And this event was held in hybrid mode. And the students who were not physically present during the convocation ceremony received the digital degrees through an in-house blockchain-driven technology. And if we talk about the blockchain technology, that it is a database or a ledger that maintain a continuously growing list of data records or the transaction. And if you go to the government of Karnataka site, then I was searching, I found that they have launched a program by name of Certificate Chain. Certificate Chain, it is based on that we always face a challenge during admission process and during giving employment process also, like about the fake degrees and fake certificates. So by certificate chain, it is established using the blockchain technology to record the educational certificates of various boards by linking them like a chain. Certificate chain, it has a certificate in distributed manner at the multiple locations, and these are secured, tamper-proof, and immutable. An attempt to tamper the data is not possible, as all the distributed locations need to be updated as per agreement to synchronize the data between them. And the main feature of this chain, all these details are available at Government of Karnataka website. It eliminates the need for dependency on the third party, and these are linked and stored with cryptographic security. Up to now, you might have heard about the blockchain technology with the cryptocurrency, and it has various other uses also. And they give that the benefit of certificate chain is that these are transparent, tamper-proof, paperless, and no dependency on the third party. And these are beneficial for student, educational institute, job provider, and financial institute also for the verification, and for the paperless verification. And if we talk about a little more about the blockchain, then they said that the cloud storage is another option, but may prove too expensive for some institutions, because blockchain could also make the educator jobs easier by the use of smart contracts. A smart contract consists of lines of code programmed into blockchain that automatically execute when certain conditions are met. For example, a teacher could program lesson and courses into a blockchain, setting up tasks for the student, and blockchain smart contract could automatically verify the completion of each task and provide the student with the next task. So, and beside this, these can also be used as a decentralized platform for institutions to share information about online courses. And it they said that it lowered the cost of education, because it has the potential to transform the education landscape by opening up new, more affordable pathways to learning and disrupting the existing relationship between schools and the student and higher education institutes. And the technology is already being used for pay-as-you-go course and other type of open learning scenarios, relying on the deployment of smart contracts and using the cryptocurrency as a payment method. Because several of the US universities are already using for the tuition pay payment, this type of technology for tuition pay payment, and they make they said that it is more affordable one. And so this is the one of the technology. And as I am from the Punjab, so Punjabi University also developed a software to break the Indo-Pak script barrier. Recently, it was in the news, and they have developed a software that is the first Perso-Arabian to Indic script transliteration system, which has the power to break the script barrier between the two countries and their common language. These were developed by a team led by the Gurpreet Singh Lahelji, that is working as Dean College Development Council over there. Software can convert with high accuracy any text from Urdu to Devanagari, Sindhi, Arabic to Sindhi, Devanagari, and Shahmukhi to Gurmukhi and other way around. And the 5 international agencies based in Singapore, Australia, Sweden, Canada funded the project at different stages over 10 years. It is available for downloading at sangam.learnpunjabi.org. So all these things, whenever you can see, you can open this software and you paste any Urdu text in the software and you will get it transliterated in the Devanagari script. So even without recognizing the letters of the Urdu alphabet, you can read the original article over there. So these are some of the examples where the technologies are used, and some are making the customized software as per the need. And in the end, I would like to say that we have to lead. We as a leader need to learn, need to update ourselves and know what is best for our own system and our higher education system. And would like to thank the organizing committee for giving me opportunity to express my views. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We will have the discussion to the end. Maybe we will invite Dr. Karunakaran to present his piece. Sir, sir is coming.
Yeah. Now, I spoke in the beginning that but let us give the opportunity to other co-panelists so that we can back again.
Dr. Smita. Dr. Smita.
Yes, thank you so
ma'am.
much. Thank you so much. First of all, I think it's a very happiest techno moment that we are listening to each other, and technology changing the landscape of higher education. Over the last decade, there have been a dramatic change in the use of technology. You all know. To avoid the repetitions, so I because Honorable Chairperson Baba Gyan Kumar sir, then Honorable Veera Babu sir, Karunakaran, now Nina ma'am just put words, Jubi, and everyone participating in this just panel. We are talking on the topic perspectives of technological usage in higher education and emerging trends and technological trends and all that. I think we all are sailing in the same boat. When we entered in the pandemic situation, I think we push towards to use the technology. Even we wish to do or not wish to do, even though we are online examination and teaching and assessment and everything we have. So education are using every technology in the classroom to massive open online close of flipped class and find new ways. And again, that Nina ma'am told that there are so many other more applications or softwares you are using, you are totally user friendly. And the students grow up with internet connected devices at home, in college, and in the classroom, which changes the way they learn. My submission over here, the future education technology will transform learning by giving teachers and students a variety of tools to work with technology, provide students easy to access the information. Actually, we are all aware that Karunakaran or anybody sitting over here, that when we are doing the research work, we have to move from one library to another. We have to take the notes and Xerox and all that. But at the one click of button on the Google or any tools or any engine, we can have the lots of information on that. So I think it enables the students to explore the new subject, deepen their understanding of difficult concepts, particularly in STEM. So this question raised in our mind, how is technology changing the future of education, or is technology changing the face of education? So the introduction to the technology, to the world of education has made it easier to the students to revolutionize this traditional teaching and learning process. When, as a member of Executive Council, when we talk on different policies, when I'm working in the binary assessment, and now the NAAC, that's the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, in 2030 will change to NAC, that National Accreditation Council. You know, when we're talking about the NEP, IDP, then the state of art or disruption technology already entered in the 4.0. And when we all are talking about the promoting the use of technology, I think that the parallelly the SOP we should be there, how to get rid of all other problems also, pros and cons, disadvantages of the technology also, because cyber crime and all that. Parallelly, we should go with that also, I suggest at this moment, because the most of the significant development that one can observe today can attribute to impact of science and technology. Contributing to national development or the skill development of the students, higher education should demonstrate to drive and develop themselves into centers of excellence. And we are bound to do that. At the same time, while the advantages of using modern tools or technological innovations in the day-to-day life are well recognized, I think well recognized by the students. The teachers above 55 plus, they want to trend on this way, because the youngsters who entered on the clock hour basis, or anybody the young generation, I think it's totally techno savvy. So to correspond to changes in the use of technology for teaching, learning, governance, leaves much to be. It is not a desired one. It is a compulsory. The technological advancement and innovation in the educational transaction how to be undertaken by all higher education institute to make a visible impact on academic development as well as administration. We're talking about paperless technology, MIS, and everything. We all are aware of all those things. At this time, when our educational institutes are expected to perform as good as a global partners, significant technological innovations have to be adopted. The traditional method of delivering higher education have become a less motivating to a large number of students nowadays, because students are at all interested in online examination also. When we go through the news, we came to know these things. To keep pace with the development in other spheres of human endeavor, higher education have to enrich the learner experience of their students by providing them a state-of-art educational technologies. The campus community must adequately prepare to make use of information and communication technology. So the conscious effort is to be needed and invest the hardware to orient the faculty suitably. Just I think everyone will agree with, because already Veerababu also quote these things. In addition to using technology as learning resource, managing the activities of the institution technology-enabled way will ensure the effective institutional functioning. For example, documentation of data management in higher education are areas where the process of assessment, any assessment, which have the significant impact. Moving towards the electronic data management, having the institutional website to provide a ready, relevant information to stakeholders are desirable steps to this direction. So in other words, at last, I want to say that the effective use of ICT in higher education will be provide ICT literacy to the campus community, as well as adopting ICT-enabled administrative process. Therefore, higher education have place their electronic data management system. So the resources, and it should be that means well acquainted, well versed with the stakeholders of that community. So when we're talking about the quest of excellence, then in the last decade, when the technology had changing the face of globe, and its rapid pace, at its effect can be seen in the education system and as a whole. I think not only education system, every sector in the world because the world is becoming a small village nowadays. When we're talking not only about the India, when we want to be in competition with the world, in Washington Accord, if you want to become a Vishwa Guru, that means through the education policy, the global pandemic speeded up the process of introducing the technology in the education. So the multimedia hub technology, then augmented reality, the e-study material, the efficient assessment and availability of information, artificial intelligence, all we are quoting all these things. I think such type of discussion with all my dear participants and my the dear honorable principals sitting over here, or who are well aware of the technology. Only thing is that we should use the technology for the betterment of higher education, betterment of the students. Though the student is from the tribal or rural area, it is again one challenge in front of central government or state government to provide the Wi-Fi facility or to provide the towers, to the satellite classrooms, all that. These are all the challenges. But this is 1 or 2% who are well versed with the technology. But there's so many teachers and students are there. They are not having the facility. We have to think about that also. So with this concluding these words, thank you so much that ICP, the organizers, and Baba Gyankumar has given me the opportunity to share my views. Thank you. Thanks a lot and have a very nice day. Stay.
Thank you, Smita ma'am, for sharing your views. The participants, if you would like to share your views, if you would like to present your views, you can do that.
Ma'am, I have a question to the panel. Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Okay, this is a crucial topic that we are all seriously looking into it. But my question to the panel is this: do we have an accurate statistics of the digital accessibility of the students? I asked this question on ground of the current internet penetration rate in India, which is 41%, and out of which I believe another statistics tells us that 32% of the internet users are the IT employees. So if you take these statistics and correlate, there is a huge worry that is been coming into my mind, where we should ponder over what is the actual accurate internet literacy rate among the students or accessibility rate among the students. Could you please throw some light into it?
I strongly believe that it again depends upon the internet accessibility, whether the student can check the data, or because all these are studies are based on the Google Forms or other forms that we send to the students to fill that how much is available. Right now I am not having such research data with me, but I believe that what you are saying, that we need to worry that more students cannot have the access to all these infrastructures.
Yes, ma'am, I do agree. When we're talking about NIRF or a SSS in NAC, along with that InflibNet, for example, I'm telling, because all principals are aware of all these words. When in any library, NDL or InflibNet, and we ask the students to download or to visit that site and see the research work and all that. Even though the prizes are also kept all this InflibNet, that means it's not necessary how many students are access or teachers are visiting to that site. And so this is, so I'm saying that introducing the technology is one part, using the technology is another part, and the problems for using the technology third, and fourth is whether this facility or infrastructure is there. The fourth, we're talking about the 4 level, because we can't mix all those things. This your question is very properly is given, but when we are technology, that means any PTI or any peer team visit to any institute. When I visit to Punjab in Chambiwal or somewhere, that I ask how many times did you just show your suppose optical fiber is there. What it is, a 10 Mbps or 100 Mbps. We should be techno savvy, that we should know the actual status. So it's very important to, so we are entered, so already beginning in the side, we are entering in, changing the landscape of our education, changing, it is in process. Definitely day will come that the answer will be given to Juby directly in future. Thank
But
you.
most of the things shared over here are out of our experience and exposure only, and not based on the research that we carried out. And human element we cannot ignore while talking about the technology. That is why I was saying that it has to be user friendly and problem solving, and has to be customized as per need of the user. Only then we can increase the access.
Professor Juby, I would like to add further. See, when we talk about technology, there are two components in it. One is a technological tool required to use that. The other one is the real technology, maybe the software component of it. When we start teaching our students in online during the pandemic time, we really took the knowledge components from maximum domain to the students, including the aeronautical engineering. But we miserably missed one major area, that is the computing area, for which the students are really required a desktop or laptop. They have been using mobile device, but they cannot go for programming or coding in their own device. They need this technological tool. When we analyzed, only about 30% of our students are possessing such technological tools. So we really failed in imparting such a computing programming component to our students in the maybe in the last about 1.5 years. Now, physically, students are available. They are effectively learning through the platforms available here. This is one of the major issues we found during the lockdown. When we talk about technology, right, as an academician, I endorse that think pedagogy first, technology second. It's good to focus attention first on strategies, which you know are ones that help the students learn, and then see how technology might help carry out. That's my strong view. Right now, of course, these technological components are really pushing the educators forward from the role of teacher to facilitator to the role of mentor. That is what really we are experiencing. Hope I have given some input to you.
Sure, sir. Sure, panel. And also, while most of you were making your points, another concern which came to my mind is, I'm sorry because I come from journalism background. I wait for platforms to get my queries answered. Okay, so I feel this is the right platform where I can put my concerns. The next worry I have is, recently I read some news pertaining to some data that was released by the Ministry of Home Affairs, which portrayed that there was a doubling of number of students who opt for foreign education, and out of which 60% of them opt loans and go for higher education. So is that the technology that attracts them, or is it the pedagogical approach that we have? What might be the reasons that, and it's going to be, and another study said that 91% of the Indian students prefer foreign education. So these kind of statistics is something alarming to me as an academician. So what are your collective thoughts on it?
Like if we talk about Punjab, most of the students are migrating outside to countries, and the major reason here is unemployment, what I can say. And another reason is the substance abuse that the parents want to. And most of the landowners are here, and they sell their land and take a big loan to send the students outside. And if you further find, whenever I go and interact with such parents, and they tell me that about 10% only go for study purpose, other go for employment purpose. It's my summation.
Professor Ruby, I'm really wonder that how you got this data, right? 91% of our students do, that's the real statistics, thinking to go abroad for education.
Yes, sir. If you put it in the internet, you will get the statistics.
Oh, great. Because it's a news for me. Right. Maybe, right, as the previous speaker said that, right? Maybe for the employment purpose, probably the students may be thinking. That's my view. You know that a large number of students are coming to India for their education. That also we should not forget, because cost-effective education system is available in India.
Sir, we are unable to hear your voice. Yes.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay. When there are a good number of students are coming to India, for learning some of the better skills, including IT skills here from our country, right? We should not forget that. Yes, of course, students from India, they migrate to abroad mostly for their post-graduation. Probably that may be the reason I think the data could have been given with a higher number. Certainly not for undergraduation, because if you compare any of the world, many of the countries in the world, very cost-effective, better education system is available in India for their undergraduation.
Sir, I do agree. But I think when we go through the details of the national education policy, to stop this brain drain, I think we are welcoming all the foreign institutes over here. So we have to update the autonomy in academics autonomy. We tend towards, because there are so many ways to think, because this is not a very small question. It has a different shades and different ways to explain all these things. So to update, I think, according to in tune with word technology, education technology, all over the world, because when internet is there, when suppose my university is in the tribal area, Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, and when we're talking about when the internet connectivity is there, it means that we are global. It's not a metro or you're from UK or US and all that. We are global. So what shouldn't that means seize or that means ourselves too, because we have been connect with all over the world. Even though sometimes it happens, the electricity is not there, we are not a Wi-Fi. That's a different thing, because the infrastructure should be strengthened in the beginning. I think so. This is my submission. Infrastructure, internet, that means all this technological infrastructure should set up in each and every institute. So the NEP and NAC has taken a very strong step, because there's a computer student ratio. Because when even though we are not providing any type of facility to students, how we can expect from those teachers or from those students that he or she should be well versed with the technology. So this is a very very primary stage, but we somewhere the Christu college, that means the example is totally different. I don't know Nina Karanji, because your college, but my college, even though the electricity problem is there, when we're talking about technology, there is there is a problem so many times. So to strengthen, it is not only the problem solving solutions in the hand of all the stakeholders. That means it is in the hand of government also, everything, because first of all, give the proper infrastructure to each and every college, and then we expect the result, and then we can ready to answer each and every question asked by Jubi ma'am. Because it's very essential in the beginning to have that at the tip of the toe. When I don't know what happened, that the electricity will be off, then It's everything will be fiasco. At this moment, the virtual, the meeting we're doing, and thanks to this technology, we are interacting with each other through this such a virtual mode with such nice people like you. Because it's not possible for us in a rural or tribal area to have the interaction, to exchange our knowledge or whatever the feelings in our mind about the technology. Just we do want to be in the competition of the world. But what are the basic requirements for that? Whatever we have, we are doing very well. So to strengthen all those things are very much essential. I think this is my submission, strong submission at this moment, because students are smart. We have the smartphones, but only smartphones are not sufficient. The firewall should be there. There are again the second, that means we are now sitting in the electromagnetic field. We are having some psychological or the stress management. These things also happen with in parallel with this technology also. We have to think those things also from this moment. From the starting moment, we should have the second plan for that, because screen time is good for anybody. We know that answer also. So we have to think technology is just a supporting system. We should not, at least supporting system, but everything is technology. I'm not in favor of that. It is the physical interaction with the student, to sit in the class, to ask him, to interact him, to understand his socio-economic or his psychological status is much more important, because the feelings are not exchanged through technology, ma'am. So when we're talking about the value education, how is it possible to give when we want to, my daughter-in-law or मैं जस्ट पोता क्या बोलते हैं उसको जस्ट छोटा मेरा नातू जो है son of my daughter and all that. And sitting in front of this computer, and they has just doing the how one can teach, how to see it, how to interact, how to go, how to respect. So those things should be in parallel. If we have to think, we should not think only the technological, but only by the human point of view. Also, we have to think. We have to think. Thank you, because it's an unending process.
Exactly, ma'am. When we think of a human point of view, since you were also talking about the PPP model, the private-public partnership in adoption of technology, there were also a lot of, reports which talked about, especially one of the reports which was highlighted by the Bloomberg, which says that the PPP model denied education in the rural India, and such reports comes where a lot of human touch and human emotion should be concerned over. Even rural Indian teachers and their mental health in adoption of technology was another major concern that we had. Was all pertaining to all these things. Do we think that an IT and Act amendment is also essential, because we still stick on to this the IT Act 2000, where we are trying to bring students, we are trying to bring children to this technology world. So what are your thoughts on that?
May I interrupt? I have one reply for Dr. Juby now. There are so many questions you have raised to this floor. Wonderful questions, ma'am. But as Dr. Smitha, principal, has rightly said, that it's very difficult to answer all the questions in the same floor. I would just like to remind, in our inauguration session, Chairperson said rightly, that access and equity, quality are three pedals in which we are equally concentrating and working on. So technology is only an instrument that is enabling a nation like India to balance all the three. So that way, higher education providers are all very optimistic that we are able to balance all the three and run ahead. So I think rightly today the panel discussion has pointed out how, in spite of all the hardships, whether it's small problems or it's large problems, they are able to balance perfectly, and they all have a vision of what to look ahead in future. With that note, I think if anybody else would like to add, please, then we can move for our end note to it. Thank you, Juby ma'am, and thank you all the panelists. It was wonderful listening to all of you.
Yes, absolutely. The technology is not the primary one, it is the secondary one. Okay.
Like we cannot ignore the human element, and capacity building of the human resources is the main thing. And that's why when the Juby madam was talking, like value-based courses and skill-based courses are already there in the NEP, like we need to look into. Thank you so much.
Yes, we do agree that all these technological advances has its own challenges, but we, the optimistic educators, will be able to embrace and race ahead. And we would be creating highly engaging classrooms leading to better results, wherein we transform the traditional learning methods, breaking down the walls of the classrooms and making students think out of box and piloting innovations. Thank you, all the panel members. Now I request the chairperson, Dr. C. Veerabahu, to make the concluding remarks.
I think Karnagaran sir will make the conclusion, I think so. Sir, you can
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Babaji. Right. Yes, the conclusion is let us all remember that people care, machines do not. Maybe with that, right? When NEP is laying down way forward towards offering online programs, this online learning, probably this technology usage into this online learning in higher education is inevitable, and we have to move along. Probably, yes, we'll be having certain lacuna in the implementation system or the usage by some of the students who are sitting in the rural side. Probably it will take its own time, no doubt on that. But till then, we have to give the space for the blended mode of learning. But it is not the only part to move forward. And maybe the institutions of the future or the universities of futures, I think we have to build from our side, right? With this new perspective of usage of this technology into our curriculum development, learning process, assessment process, whatnot, right? So far, I think we were a little away. I think this after COVID, post-COVID has given the way forward. Wherever possible, let us imbibe and see that an effective process of learning is happening. That is the ultimate goal behind bringing the technology into the education system, or more importantly, the higher education system. With this, I would like to thank AICP for giving the opportunity to be in this panel to discuss on perspectives of usage of technology in higher education. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Surendranath Reddy, Head Department of Management, Kristu Jayanti College, to conclude with the endnote and thanks.
Thank you, Madam. Respected dignitaries, participants, and my dear colleagues, it's my privilege to give an end note and also thank all the dignitaries who are actually participated in this panel discussion, and a very fruitful panel discussion we had on perspectives of usage of technology in higher education. To begin with the opening remarks by respected chairperson, he mentioned about the role of technology in modern education and equipping the classrooms with the technology for, understanding the needs of the millennials. And also we have the panel members who highlighted on the educating the teachers to acquaint with the application of technology in education, and also having the right leadership, making the right strategies to use the technology for enhancement of learning experience by the students. And at the end, everybody opined with it is not the machine or the technology is the most important, the human touch. That is definitely we have missed for the few months, we can say, and we are very happy that the students have come back to our classes, and definitely the human touch with technology will definitely provide a better learning platform for the students. So on this occasion, I would like to thank our respected chairperson, Dr. Veerabahu, the principal, for taking his time and coming and sharing his opinion about usage of technology. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the panel members, Dr. Karnakaran, CEO, Hindustan Education Institutions from Coimbatore, Dr. Nina Seth, Principal of Govindgarh Public College, Ludhiana, and Dr. Smita Deshmukh, a member, Executive Committee, NAC, Bengaluru, for your wonderful participation and your insights and enlightening all the young minds who are part of our participants. Thank you, panel members. I would like to thank all the members of AICP for their wonderful support to organize this 2 days conference, to give a kind of a platform for all the participants to understand about the role of technology. And I would like to thank all my fellow colleagues from Presidency College, the faculty coordinators, and for their effort to organize this panel discussion. And once again, thanking everyone. I remain. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Smita madam. Thank you, Nina madam. Thank you, Karnagaran sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and have a nice day and a happy and healthy life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next session. Thank you.
Dear participants, the third keynote session on technological initiatives in higher education by Government of Karnataka is to be presented by Dr. Bhagyavana S. Mudigaudra, which will begin at 11:30, and you can have a short break and join the Zoom meeting with the same login credentials at 11:30. Thank you.